So in the previous lecture we have learned how to create tables. In this session we are going to learn how to create forms, how to make forms. Like you can see the forms like this. Here username and password and submit button is there. The username is taking some input and the password is taking some input, and the submit button just refreshes the inputs here. Here the submit button is not working as we usually see in the forms. Their username and password is sent to the server, and server will validate if the username and password is correct or not. If it is correct, then it will take you to another page or file, and if it is not correct, then it will show an error message or some message. So it here this form will be simple one, just username and password, and submit button will just reset the value you entered in the username and password. So for creating the form we use the tag named form, right? So we use form tag. Form tag is there, and for taking the inputs of the username and the password, we use the tag input. And it is an opening tag only, it is not a paired tag. Here it is on in opening tag only. So input is there, and we have here two attributes are there. One is type and another is name. So we are not going to use name here, we will see name later. Here we are going to use only the type. So let's remove it. Type, what type of value we want to enter. Suppose this is for the username, so it will be of text type. Another input is of password, so input, we are not required name here, we are removing the name, and the name type input or type of password will be password only. Just check what happens if we click text, right? So let's see it in the browser how it's got reflected. Control is save it and right click open in browser. So you can see here you can enter value, some value username, and here also you can enter some value, this one. Now this is for password, right? Password should be of dotted. When we usually type our password in the box, dot in spite of showing us the text, we see the dots. So there our password don't get revealed, but here we can clearly see the password and it is clearly revealed. For that we use type equal to password, not the text. For password we use type equal to password, right? And then for the submit button we have to also use the input and type equal to type attribute value. Here is for submit is submit, right? Now just save it, Ctrl S, and refresh the page. So you can see here here we will type the username, here we will type the password. Now see, dotted is coming in spite of showing us the letters. We can see the dotted line, dotted letters, not the actual letters. And here the submit button. When we click on submit, see the username and password data is reset, right? So this is the method, but here some difference is there between what we want to make it and what we have made till now. Here the entries that we are taking input is in different lines, right? Submit is in different line, password input is in different line, and the username input is in different line. So for that we can use the break tag, or we can use the div tag. Div tag will be more better because we are dividing the components and making this, grouping them in sections. So we enclose it under the div tag. This is for username, closing div tag, then open the div tag for password, close the div tag, and then for div tag for the submit button, so this is how we have created. Now we will see it in the browser how it's got reflected. Refresh the page. Now you can see here is the username we can type, here is the password we can type, and then click on submit button. These three all in the different lines, right? Now see the difference. We have not added the label here for the input that we are taking. How someone will know what to enter in that input? So for that we add labels. So for adding labels, the label tag is used. This is for label. Opening label tag and the closing label tag. What we want? Username. But here we have to mention for which input we are adding the labels. So for that we use the for attribute. For equal to what? For which input we are using this label. How we come to know? So we have to mention that input some IDs. We have to give some ID. Then only we will be able to mention the label and see the label for which input you are there. So I'm giving the IDs to all the inputs. So ID equal to, this is for the username, ID equal to, for username we are typing username, and for password we are also giving the ID attribute has value here. Suppose we are giving password have given the IDs to all the nouns. For the label we use for and we give the ID name. This is for username, and this is for label where we have to add for password here. Label, and this is the password. And for what? For attribute will be given the ID for equal to, what's that? Password. This is, so we have given the values for that. Refresh the, save the page, Control S, and then refresh it. So you can see one mistake is there, here, right? Now again Control S, save it, and then refresh the page. Now you can see the username we can enter, the password we can enter, and then the submit button. So this is the required thing that we are wanted, right? No, username and the input box should be in different lines. So for that we are using the br tag. So here is the label, and after that we are adding br tag, line break tag, and here for password, here also br is used. Then I think it is okay, right? Control S, save it, and refresh the page. Now you can see username, something we have typed, password, something we have typed, and we can click on submit. So this is how we create the simple page, right? Thank you very much.